D'Angelo and 10 Black R&B legends whose mysterious cancer deaths still shock the world. They once ignited the world with voices that commanded respect and defined generations, yet vanished together in profound, unsettling silence. D'Angelo's passing at 51 from pancreatic cancer was only the beginning of a chilling chain of tragic farewells. From Aretha Franklin's royal final fight to Tammy Terrell's devastating loss at 24.
Born in August the 12th in Cleveland, Ohio. And although most people decide what occupation...
Was it fate or a shared burden too heavy to bear alone? We are peeling back the curtain on the agony hidden behind the glamorous stage lights. Before we uncover the truth that will shake your soul,
we're gonna have a great
video.
hit
Grade
like,
school media is
subscribe,
basically
embrace
we're
yourself.
students of the game, and so
D'Angelo, christened Michael Archer, was the architect of the neo-soul movement, a visionary whose work resurrected the raw, sacred feel of classic R&B. His initial rise was incandescent, marked by the seminal albums Brown Sugar and Voodoo, securing his legacy as a musical savant comparable to the greats. Yet the same searing intensity that fueled his masterpieces also became a profound affliction. He was a deeply authentic creative force who found the pretense of the music business increasingly unbearable, leading to long periods of retreat and isolation. The weight of his own genius was palpable. Collaborators noted his uncompromising perfectionism and aversion to anything that didn't feel real. This quest for truth and expression eventually led him to withdraw entirely from the glaring spotlight. In his final chapter, the global stage was replaced by a small, quiet room in New York, scented with incense, where only the slow rotation of vinyl provided company. His battle with pancreatic cancer was fought with the same fierce privacy that defined his career. He bore his suffering in complete secrecy, denying the world any glimpse of frailty. For D'Angelo, the paramount concern was not the pain, but the loss of potential. A close confidant revealed his chief sorrow was the possibility of not having another chance to craft one more definitive composition. He maintained his connection to the core of his inspiration, requesting the works of Nina Simone and Marvin Gaye alongside his hospital treatments. In a moment of haunting poetry, his farewell was orchestrated by the very art he mastered. Just before his final breath, the track Really Love, a song that took him nearly 15 years to complete, unexpectedly filled the room. Relatives witnessed a faint, peaceful smile cross his lips as the chorus swelled. His life concisely summarized in a final note stating, "If my music meant something, then I've done enough," confirmed his desire for his artistic contribution to be his eternal measure. D'Angelo's passing at 51 closed a turbulent, brilliant career, leaving behind a silence that spoke volumes about the price of pure, uncompromised soul. Aretha Franklin. Aretha Franklin, the undisputed queen of soul, embodied American music's spiritual and cultural bedrock. Her voice was not merely an instrument, it was a force of nature, shaped by the powerful traditions of the Baptist Church. Throughout her career, she commanded respect, and even when facing a grueling extended health crisis, she maintained that same formidable, sovereign presence. Her final years were a testament to unmatched fortitude. Though visibly frail and often requiring assistance backstage, the instant she stepped into the illumination, she transformed. She refused to yield to the physical torment, standing tall, eyes blazing with conviction, ready to deliver a vocal performance that could still roar like thunder. For those who witnessed it, her strength was supernatural. They saw only a monarch radiating light, completely unaware of the relentless struggle hidden beneath her glamorous gowns. For Aretha, singing was intrinsically tied to existence. She famously declared that if her voice ever ceased, she would cease to be herself. Grounded in her gospel roots, she approached her debilitating disease not as a mere medical challenge, but as a confrontation to be met with faith. Her talent was her greatest form of resistance. She promised an old friend she would continue to elevate her powerful message until God told me to stop. Every note was a continuation of her prayer. In her Detroit residence during her closing moments, this commitment remained absolute. She requested an atmosphere free of tears and sorrow. Instead, the final soundtrack was her own music, specifically the soulful ballad, Ain't No Way. Family members recount a serene scene where she subtly acknowledged the rhythm, silently mouthing the lyrics. Her passing in 2018 was not the defeat of a body, but the ascension of a sound, a powerful final display of inner dignity and the belief that music possesses the sacred power to transcend suffering. Etta James. Etta James, born James Etta Hawkins, was not just a vocalist. She was an icon whose voice was the embodiment of the blues and soul's painful honesty. Her sound, raw, gravelly, and profoundly heavy, was celebrated not despite its imperfections, but because of them. Her life, like her music, was a continuous high-wire act between the blinding glamour of the stage and the deep shadows of personal struggle. When leukemia began its inexorable drain on her vitality, the industry might have expected her to succumb quietly, but Etta was built differently. She was defined by a fierce, unyielding disposition, and she met her illness with a distinctive defiance. She notoriously abhorred quietude, famously declaring, "I hate silence. Silence makes me feel like I'm about to disappear." Her hospital room became a sanctuary of sound, where she insisted on constant music, and often provided it herself. Even in her most depleted state, her rough-edged voice persisted, sometimes quavering, often breaking, but always alight with an unmistakable zest for life. A hospital aide once recalled a moment of profound gravity. Etta requested the curtains be opened to let in the sun, then began to perform At Last. The strength in her delivery, despite her physical decline, gave the witness goosebumps, recognizing it as a soulful, musical farewell. Throughout her career, Etta James was utterly candid, once stating, "If I don't hurt, I can't sing." This commitment to lived experience fueled her artistry to the very end. Though the sickness left her physically diminished, her eyes retained their luminous spirit. She continued to tease and joke with visitors, living with the same bold authenticity she sang with, powerful, transparent, and completely unafraid. Her signature ballad, At Last, the song of complete fulfillment, served as the melodic escort for her final journey in 2012, confirming that some voices are not merely sung, but are torn from the heart, destined never to truly fade. Percy Sledge. Percy Sledge was a figure defined not by showmanship or theatrical flair, but by the profound, unvarnished honesty of his voice. His sound, rich, thick, and instantly recognizable, was uniquely capable of making listeners pause and feel the depths of human vulnerability. Sledge entered the music world from the humblest of beginnings, working nights as a hospital orderly in Alabama. It was in the quiet hallways, singing simple, soothing melodies to patients, that his magnificent talent was accidentally discovered. His signature masterpiece, When a Man Loves a Woman, remains one of the most remarkable recordings in history. It was captured in a single, emotionally raw take. No polish, no extensive arrangement, just the spontaneous eruption of a bruised heart. Having recently suffered a romantic breakup, Sledge channeled his entire soul into the performance, creating what stands today as the most resonant confession of enduring, painful devotion. Sledge's subsequent life mirrored the humility of his origins. He was an artist who simply sang what he felt, believing that even in agony, love was a worthwhile pursuit. As the years progressed and he faced his battle with liver cancer, he maintained this gentle demeanor. He rarely uttered a complaint about the debilitating effects of his condition. Instead, he approached the sickness with philosophical acceptance, drawing parallels between his current physical pain and the emotional anguish he had long processed through music. Even as the ailment rapidly weakened his body, his eyes retained their characteristic warmth. His primary desire was not pity, but assurance that his music still resonated. He would often state that if someone shed a tear upon hearing his voice, it meant he was still alive within them. In a tender, final gesture, Sledge requested to hear not his own definitive recording, but cover versions of his legendary song performed by younger artists, finding joy in the continuity of the message of love. He departed in 2015, leaving behind an artistic legacy that proves some souls are born purely to sing and love. Their impact measured not by fame, but by the emotional truth conveyed in every resonant note. Minnie Riperton. Minnie Riperton possessed a vocal gift that defied earthly classification. Her range was astonishing, notably her command of the whistle register, a crystalline sound that seemed to transcend human limitations, making listeners wonder if they were hearing a voice or the pure expression of a soul in flight. She was light, ethereal, and utterly unique, soaring above the world's storms with the ease of a butterfly. In a poignant contrast to the seemingly effortless joy of her music, particularly her iconic sweet ballad, Loving You, Minnie was diagnosed with breast cancer at a remarkably young age. The diagnosis came at the peak of her career when she was just 28, with a family and an entire future ahead. Doctors delivered the devastating prognosis that she had only a few months to live. Yet Minnie chose an extraordinary path of public resilience instead of private despair. She never concealed her ailment, nor did she allow it to cast a shadow over her work. Rather than accepting rest, she continued to record and perform, radiating an inexplicable happiness on stage. Her resolve was anchored by an ultimate dedication to her family. Her profound motivation was to continue singing until her very last breath, so that her daughter, Maya, would carry the indelible memory of her voice forever. Even as her physical strength visibly waned, her vocal brilliance did not diminish. Paradoxically, it grew clearer, brighter, and more focused. In one of her final recording sessions, she established a haunting atmosphere. She demanded all studio lights be extinguished, requesting that only a single, small candle remain burning. She explained she wanted to sing for that little light, signifying that when it was extinguished, she would know her journey was complete. Minnie Riperton's passing at 31 was described not with sadness, but as a peaceful ascension. Her life was an unfinished love song, one filled entirely with light, free of complaint or resentment. Her legacy, enshrined in that celestial sound, is a continuous reminder that love, music, and profound optimism possess the transformative power to lift the human spirit above its deepest fears. Tammy Terrell. Tammy Terrell remains one of Motown's most poignant figures, a young artist whose luminous, effervescent presence on stage was entirely infectious. Her reputation was cemented through her unforgettable musical partnership with Marvin Gaye, creating a series of timeless, intertwined duets like Ain't No Mountain High Enough and Your Precious Love. On the surface, the pair exuded playful romance and boundless energy, making audiences believe in their destined harmony. However, beneath the joyous facade of the bright lights, Tammy was fighting a crippling internal war. She was devastatingly diagnosed with a brain tumor at the age of just 20. The illness began to manifest publicly, culminating in a shocking collapse right into Marvin Gaye's arms during a performance. Despite the grim prognosis and stern medical advice to cease performing immediately, Tammy exhibited a profound refusal to surrender her artistry. Her dedication was absolute. She voiced her heartbreaking resolve. If I stop singing, I'll have nothing left. She returned to the recording studio with her signature smile, determinedly continuing her work with Marvin Gaye, teasing her worried collaborator to prevent him from looking at her like I'm about to vanish. Her unwavering spirit guaranteed that her vocal contributions would be preserved, ensuring her vitality remained immortalized within their grooves. As the condition relentlessly worsened, leaving her unable to stand for extended periods, Tammy maintained her connection to the music that sustained her. She often listened to their upbeat tracks and shared laughter with friends.
I'll be there when you want me some way, somehow.
Marvin's hand and delivered her final, gentle instruction. "If I can't sing anymore, you have to sing for me." Tammy Terrell departed the stage forever in 1970 at the age of 24. Her death utterly shattered Marvin Gaye and left the music world in mourning. Yet her image remains permanently etched as a beacon of strength and kindness. Her brief, brilliant career stands as powerful proof that even when life's duration is tragically short, the courage to smile and the enduring echo of music can make a soul truly immortal. Donna Summer. Donna Summer reigns supreme as the queen of disco, defining the sound and glamour of the 1970s with hits like Hot Stuff and Last Dance. Her public image was one of dazzling, inexhaustible energy and seductive power. Yet behind the mirrored balls and pulsating lights where millions danced to her command, Donna was engaged in a deep, isolated battle, seeking solace in her profound spiritual convictions. She chose to hide her illness, lung cancer, for many years, even from close acquaintances. Donna's primary concern was controlling her narrative. She fiercely resisted being remembered as a patient and refused the pity of others. In her final chapter, residing in Nashville, neighbors observed a routine of quiet reflection. She would often sit on her porch, breathing deeply and writing private notes focused on her faith, artistic process, and deepest fears. A significant, long-circulating rumor suggested that Donna believed her ailment was tragically linked to inhaling toxic debris following the 9/11 attacks in New York, a haunting detail that underscored the conflicted nature of her strength and vulnerability. Instead of allowing this fear to consume her, she channeled her energy into creation. Her final recordings, often unreleased, were deeply introspective, centering on themes of resurrection and spiritual belief, exemplified by tracks like To Paris with Love. She firmly held that, "If I only have a little time left, I'll use it to sing about the light." Donna Summer lived life on her own terms, fiercely independent yet fundamentally faithful. She famously maintained, "As long as I can sing, I'm alive." Her passing in 2012 at the age of 63 was quiet and without fanfare, occurring in the comfort of her family's embrace. Witnesses described the atmosphere in her home as having changed, becoming warmer, more peaceful, suggesting her journey had reached a serene conclusion. Though she brought high-voltage electricity to dance floors worldwide, her private legacy is one of inner peace and finding salvation through spiritual resilience, proving that light can shine brightest from a heart that has known profound pain. James Ingram. James Ingram was universally known not for flamboyant theatrics, but for a voice that communicated the language of romance with unmatched sincerity. His delivery was smooth, measured, and profoundly comforting, requiring no dramatic climax to resonate deeply with listeners. Tracks like Just Once and 100 Ways were tender confessions that possessed a quiet, healing power, cementing his image as the undisputed gentleman of R&B. When this figure of composure discovered his diagnosis of brain cancer in late 2016, he confronted the immense challenge with the same trademark gentleness that defined his art. He opted for a strictly private battle, sharing the devastating truth only with his immediate circle. Crucially, the illness did not diminish his drive to use his voice to soothe others. During his treatments, James Ingram transformed his hospital stay into an unexpected sanctuary of melody. Nurses recounted that every morning he would sing for the entire ward, often delivering snippets of "You Make Me Feel Brand New" or crafting spontaneous, uplifting phrases. He used his gift as a tool for personal endurance, explaining simply that, "Music helps me forget the pain," a statement backed by his warm, persistent smile that moved everyone who heard him. His genuine kindness transcended the music industry's inherent competitiveness. He was celebrated equally for his demeanor, always polite, composed, and utterly devoid of despair. When chemotherapy caused his hair loss, he met the change with light-hearted humor, joking that less hair means less shampoo. This perspective made him a calming presence, a soul born, it seemed, to mollify the turbulence of the world. In his final period, he received a visit from Quincy Jones, the legendary producer who first discovered him. Jones offered a definitive validation of Ingram's life's work, telling him, "You taught the whole world how to love, James. That is enough." His passing in 2019 was as serene as his artistry. He departed holding his wife's hand, offering a simple, whispered, "Thank you," leaving behind an indelible treasury of songs that remain as warm and true as the man himself. Betty Wright. Betty Wright was an essential pillar of Southern soul, revered not just for her powerful voice, but for her outspoken spirit and dedication to empowering Black women. Rising to prominence at the tender age of 17 with the hit Clean Up Woman, she built a career defined by unflinching honesty regarding love, pride, and the often unacknowledged pains that women endure. She famously lived by the mantra, "I sing what I live, and I live exactly what I sing," making her artistry a direct reflection of her life. In 2018, when she first felt the persistent, debilitating physical signs of her decline, including severe abdominal distress and chronic fatigue, she initially chose to conceal her struggle. When finally diagnosed with internal cancer, her reaction was not shock or defeat, but characteristic defiance. She smiled and confidently remarked that she had overcome greater adversity than this. True to her nature as a working artist and a dedicated educator, Betty vehemently refused to be confined to a hospital bed. Her unwavering belief was that time could not be wasted in four walls. Instead, she prioritized her role as a mentor. Even as her health rapidly deteriorated, she continued to hold singing workshops in her home, welcoming students one by one. She was frail, but her passion remained incandescent. She demanded authenticity from her protégés, instructing them to transcend mere technique. "Don't just sing the notes, sing your story." When her students wept, saddened by her palpable physical struggle, she instantly redirected their focus, commanding them not to pity her, but to use your voice to tell the truth. Betty Wright, the music powerhouse, was a constant force behind the scenes, guiding successful careers ranging from Beyoncé to Joss Stone. In her final days, though her breath was shallow, she still sat composing, capturing fragmented musical ideas, affirming that creating music was the singular element that made her feel alive. Just before her passing in 2020, she left her most poignant instruction to a close student. If she could no longer sing, they had to sing for her. Betty Wright's legacy is the essence of uncompromising soul, a fierce, authentic voice that lives on through every student she touched. Sharon Jones. Sharon Jones, the dynamic frontwoman of the Dap Kings, was a late-blooming powerhouse whose stature was small, but whose presence was seismic. She arrived on the scene in her 40s, a true veteran who became the embodiment of raw, uncompromising funk and soul revival. When she was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer in 2013, she refused the conventional narrative of retreat. For Jones, music was not merely a profession. It was the indispensable means by which she drew breath. She instantly became a soul warrior, turning her health crisis into a defiant public stand. Rather than canceling her commitments, she continued touring relentlessly, often carrying her chemotherapy treatment machinery in her luggage. She famously asserted, "I will sing as long as I can stand," treating the stage as a vital extension of her life support. She performed over 50 shows annually, even while actively undergoing rigorous treatments. Jones demanded complete authenticity. When chemotherapy caused her hair loss, she rejected the suggestion of wearing a wig. She owned her reality, stating simply, "I don't need to hide anything. This is me, real, whole, and still alive." Her transparency was an extraordinary act of courage that inspired thousands. She didn't allow the illness to define her. Instead, she used her vibrant, tireless dancing and singing to make entire audiences forget she was sick at all. Even when the disease recurred and forced her to relearn to walk after surgery, she returned to the stage within days. In a moving scene captured in the documentary, Miss Sharon Jones, she looked directly into the camera and declared with quiet resolve, "Cancer can't stop my soul." In her final New York performance, her voice was weak, but the audience stood and sang, "This land is your land," with her. She met their tears not with pity, but with a powerful smile and the instruction, "Don't cry, dance." On November 18, 2016, Sharon Jones passed away in the arms of her band members. Her request that the music of the Dap Kings play continuously until her very last moment underscored her enduring belief that the beat of soul was more powerful than death. Her legacy is one of unbridled energy and profound resilience, reminding the world that courage is best expressed through rhythm and a smile. Lou Rawls. Lou Rawls possessed one of the most distinctly comforting voices in 20th century music, a texture often described as smooth, deep, and luxurious, like black velvet. Discovered while singing in a Chicago church, his style was a sophisticated fusion of gospel depth, jazz complexity, and soul warmth. His defining hit, "You'll Never Find Another Love Like Mine," became a universally recognized declaration of fidelity, securing his fame not through fleeting trends, but through genuine, timeless emotion. Rawls was an artist who maintained extraordinary composure both on stage and off. He deliberately eschewed the pursuit of superficial glamour, focusing instead on the singular mission of musical authenticity. He articulated his process plainly, "I don't just sing with my voice, I sing with my heart and the scars in my heart." This honesty granted his music a profound, comforting authority. When he received his diagnosis of lung cancer in the early 2000s, Rawls's reaction was calm and philosophical. He famously stated that he was not afraid of his eventual passing, only of being separated from the continuous flow of music. True to this sentiment, he staunchly refused to become sedentary, maintaining his touring schedule even while undergoing intensive medical treatments. He viewed performance as a life necessity, asserting, "Music is my oxygen. If I don't sing, I suffocate." His commitment to preserving the purity of his sound was absolute. During the recording of his final project, Lou Rawls, Live in Spirit, the producer noted that Rawls, despite needing an oxygen tube for breathing, insisted on removing it during takes. His reason was simple. He did not want the microphone to capture his labored breathing. He wanted it only to capture his soul. Every note on that raw acoustic album, though often trembling, was delivered with the signature warmth and profound sincerity that had defined his career. Rawls passed away in 2006 at the age of 72. His legacy extends beyond his recordings. He was a noted philanthropist, notably establishing the United Negro College Fund Telethon, which provided scholarships for disadvantaged Black students for decades. His life was defined by the principles he exemplified: quiet generosity and dignified strength, proving that the most powerful music is often delivered by the kindest hearts. The silent farewells of D'Angelo, Aretha, Lou Rawls, and the others represent more than personal tragedy. They point to a collective vulnerability familiar to many Black creatives. These Black excellence legends fought their diseases in solitude, often suppressing their pain, unwilling to let frailty diminish their public stature. We are left to ponder, Did the immense pressure to embody perfection, combined with the isolation of stardom, prevent these giants from receiving the timely, holistic support they truly deserved? How does this pattern of private suffering reflect the hidden costs of their public glory? Join the discussion below and tell us, what responsibility does the industry have in protecting the health and humanity of the very soul it profits from?